Oh, wow. Hello, good afternoon, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and dear participants joining us both in person and online. On behalf of the Early Career Scientist Network, ECSN of IIOE-2, it is my privilege to welcome you all to this hybrid workshop hosted at the International Center for Information Service, Hyderabad. The Early Career Scientist Network, or ECSN, was formed in 2015 at the National Institute of Oceanography, Goa, and formally adopted in 2018. Its purpose is simple yet powerful to bring together young scientists working on the Indian Ocean, encourage collaboration and exchange, and strengthen our collective understanding of this underexplored region. ECSN focuses on three key objectives: collaboration, networking, and opportunities. By organizing workshops, training, and connecting early career researchers with senior scientists under the IIOE-2 network. The theme of today's workshop is empowering early career researchers for collaborative ocean science and leadership. We look forward to insightful discussions and shared perspectives that will strengthen our collective journey in ocean science. To get us started, I would like to invite Dr. Sudesh Valiodan, core committee member of ECSN from the Central University of Kerala. He will share the opening remarks and outline the objectives of this workshop.
Thank you, Tirtha, for a nice no start. Good afternoon, all esteemed colleagues and early career researchers joining in person as well as online. And on behalf of Early Career Scientist Network of IIOE-2, it is my pleasure to welcome you all. I am very delighted to see the house is full and we have many joining online. And we have a very diverse group. We have many early careers. At the same time, we have seniors like scientists like Lay and many others. And also, like now, we have the different various partner networks. And today workshop is centered on the theme empowering early career researchers for collaborative ocean science and leadership. Our objective is to strengthen the capacity of early career researchers by deepening their understanding of collaborative scientific practices, enhancing professional networking, and fostering leadership skills that are essential for addressing the complex and evolving challenges of the global ocean. Through this platform, we aim to encourage interdisciplinary dialogue, build cross regional partnership, and offer practical insight that support career development within the ocean sciences. Let me briefly explain the outline of today's program. We will begin with the introduction to the Early Career Scientist Network of International Indian Ocean Expedition, including a reflection of our past activities and expanding the role of network within the Indian Ocean research community. This will be followed by an invited lecture from Dr. Haimandi Biswas, the Senior Scientist, National Institute of Oceanography, who will share her perspective on how collaboration and networking shape the research trajectory of a young scientist. We will then hear from Dr. Nimit Kumar, Senior Scientist from ICAR, Mumbai, who will speak about the transition from an early career stage to a senior research role, an area of great interest to many of our participants. This workshop also brings together partner network working across Indo-Pacific and Western Indian Ocean region. We have the representative from ECOP India, then PORSEC, and the Western Indian Ocean Early Career Network will be present their activities highlighting the opportunities for collaborations, engagement, and regional synergy. We will then proceed with the handing over and handing over ceremony where the new committee members of ECSN will be introduced, followed by the closing remark. I hope this workshop inspire meaningful exchanges, strengthen our community, and empowers each participant to take an active role in advancing collaborative ocean science. Thank you once again for joining us. I wish you all productive and enriching session. Thank you.
We now move to an introduction of the ECSN IIOE-2 network. May I invite the chair of ECSN IIOE-2, Dr. Fehmi Dil Mahmoud, from Mauritius and currently a scientist at Geomer in Germany, to share highlights of the network's initiatives and achievements that have paved the way for today's gathering. Please.
Just bear with me for 1 second. I will share. Okay, I just want to make sure that everyone online can see my screen before I start. Yes, we can see. Okay, good. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fehmi Dil Mahmoud. I'm the current chair of the Early Career Scientist Network. And I'm very happy to be here today to be able to introduce the Early Career Scientist Network and, of course, to talk about past activities and some plans for the future. But before I get into this, I really would like to thank IIOGOOS, INCOIS, SCORE to organize this amazing conference and for giving also the voice to the Early Career Scientist Network. So I'm very happy to be here. Thank you very much. I want to start quickly by this picture. So this has been shown a few times already. Can anyone tell me what's the context of that picture? Yeah, anyone? Yes, exactly. So someone said some discussion is going on, and Emanti, what did you say? Yes. So I think so a lot of people have seen this picture already. This has been taken exactly 10 years ago and 10 years and 3 days ago. So this was the first ECSN. Oh, they can't hear me, right? Yeah. So this was the first ECSN meeting that happened in Goa 10 years and 3 days ago, and it really kickstarted this early career scientist network. And the basic idea during this gathering was actually to bring together young scientists from Indian Ocean rim countries to better understand the underexplored Indian Ocean. And building on that, I can see so many people in the room, and I'm really happy that at least we've managed to bring together early career scientists from the Indian Ocean. But who are we? So the Early Career Scientist Network of IIOE-2 is the first basin-wide focused early career scientist network. So all our members are doing research or are interested in doing research in the Indian Ocean. This ECSN also provides opportunities for leaders and young scientists to interact, to talk, to discuss, to network, but across a various field of science, including atmospheric science, physical oceanography, chemical oceanography, biological oceanography, and paleoceanography. So this multidisciplinary aspect of science is really important for the ECSN. So our objectives are to promote knowledge exchange and scientific collaboration, to organize meetings, workshops, and training courses, to facilitate ocean research, also to bridge the gap between senior scientists and early career researchers. So this is our community, and I will give you some numbers. So as of this morning, we have 262 registered members from 10 different countries, and we have 9 core committees. This is where we are located a bit across over the world. Of course, I think 1 or 2 have changed institutions recently, and we also have an advisory committee of 5 people. And what's important also is that now very recently actually, each member has a unique membership ID. And for this, I really like to thank Anish and Kiran who really push for this. And I think it's really important because it allows the project office here to track who is an ECSN. And this is important, for example, when you are applying for funding, and if you're doing a presentation at a conference like here, and you want to apply to be given a best presentation award. So of course, these are only given or only attributed to early career scientist networks. So through this membership ID, we can track who is actually as an ECSN member, and also who then moves on to be an alumni later on. What about publication? So publication in the last 3 years from the member of the ECSN. I must first apologize because this pie chart here has last been updated in May 2025. But the key message here is that it highlights the broad disciplinary spread of early career scientist publications. So like I mentioned before, across various oceanographic fields, such as biological, biochemistry, modeling, pollution, policy, and physical oceanography. Another research highlights, and I think this is a very important, so Nimit and Aditi, who also are not Nimit. Nimit was one of the founders of this network, and Aditi is also part of the current core committee. So they took part of this on this study, and I think it has a really important message. So one big barrier to do science, of course, is a limited access to resources, computational facilities, but this is kind of changing in our world at the moment, because now we have easier access to online resources, open source softwares. For example, before, if you had to use MATLAB, it was always licensed, and now you have Python, which is open source. So it makes it easier for people to be able to use these softwares. And the main message that came out of this was that the sharing capacity in marine open data science can actually expand participation of more diverse communities. For example, from low-income countries, from countries where they do not speak English. So this kind of, the new upcoming technology is actually helping in that sense to help people to do science. I will walk you through some of the highlights from the Early Career Scientist Network. So we did an Indian Ocean seminar series where we organized monthly talks, and this happened during 2023 and 2024. But yeah, I mean, it's really hard to find people to talk every month. We did not think about it wisely, but now we know. Of course, we learn, and then we adapt, and then we will, of course, now try to revigorate this idea and maybe do it on a quarterly basis, because it really gives a voice to early career scientists to present their work, and also to get out to get thoughts and ideas from more experienced people and other early career scientists. So we also co-authored book chapters on the Indian Ocean Observing System. We contributed to the IIOE-2 Science Plan Addendum, like Riley mentioned this morning. We also participated in several Indian Ocean cruises, example, ACAMSAT cruise, which happened in this year in Bay of Bengal. We also contributed to IIOE-2 newsletters in a dedicated early career section, as well as regular contribution to IIOE-2 bubble. So I just want to put out, so these are some of the highlights, but I also want to put out a quick word for all the early career scientists in the room today. Like, if you don't receive these IIOE-2 newsletters or receive IIOE-2 bubble, please get in touch to us, get in touch with people from the project office, and you can always sign up for this. And it's really super helpful, because it has really very important information, and yeah, I think it's very useful. Let's move on to capacity building. Of course, as an early career scientist network, you would like to promote capacity building, organize some stuff, some meetings, workshop to get early career scientists to talk, to communicate, to network. And I'm showing one example here. This is a workshop that was organized in May this year in 2025 in Mauritius, and this was organized by the Early Career Network. The theme was Rising Tides, Rising Voices, Early Career Scientists on Climate Challenges in the Indian Ocean. So it was really, really well organized, and of course, as you can see on the picture, there were quite a lot of people attending. But I really like the outcome. The key message that came out of this capacity building was that participants highlighted that the importance of partnership with local NGOs, schools, and community leaders enabled a two-way learning. So scientists can gain insights from local knowledge, while communities also receive scientific support for adaptation planning. And I think this is a very important message that we really need to, of course, as an early career scientist, you're always very focused in your science, but it's also good to talk to people outside of science, to your communities around, and see how you can pass on messages. Or this is a lot. Of course, there's a lot of outreach activities going on. So I think this is quite important. Another important aspect of this capacity building was the devising early career capacity development in the Indian Ocean region. This is what we call the Decade IO, which is a program which is led by the Early Career Scientist Network from the GPU office here. Also very led by Dr. Nimit Kumar, who's here, who will talk a bit later, but not about this, about something else. But this program has been endorsed by UN Ocean Decade, and we have different partners: ECOP, INCOIS, POSEC, Western Indian Ocean, ECSN, and NANO. And the action items of this program was to actually organize 2 major capacity building per year during 2020, from 2023 to 2027. And how did we do so far? Well, we managed to organize 5 workshops, which is not that bad, I think. I don't think we have enough time for a 6th workshop until the end of the year, but maybe next year we can have a bit more. But yeah, I think it's already quite successful. And one very important aspect of this program is the metamorphosis of early careers from a learner to a mentor. So the early career scientists who are participating in these workshops, trainings, for example, in year 1, in year 4, they can also be the one doing the lectures, doing the trainings, right? At the same time, they can bring this back to their university and then organize their own kind of like small scale meetings, workshops, so they can also then bring this knowledge to other institutions. So this is quite important. So this transition of early career from a learner towards a mentor. So like I mentioned, we organized 5 workshops already. The fish habitat modeling in September 2023. We have the, oh yeah, I'm running out of time. But yeah, these are the list of workshops that were organized within this program. I want to touch quickly based on outreach. So we have a website which is up and running. Please get involved. You can so those who are not registered, you can register. At the same time, I know we can do more with the website. There's more stuff that we can add. We can make it more attractive. So we hopefully will work on this in the future. We have social media presence on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. On the YouTube channel, you can see the previous talk of the seminar series that we organized. So please go ahead, follow us, and hopefully we can post a bit more in the future, be a bit more active on these platforms. And also, I want to finish quickly by telling you what's next. So we've been with the core committee for quite some time now. So it's time, I think, to hand over to a new generation who will come with more energy, more ideas. So we will have a hand over to a new core committee. So this will happen today, but officially will happen by the end of December or January 2026. We would like, of course, to increase visibility of our network, engage more effectively with experienced scientists on higher level aspects of ongoing and upcoming projects, inclusion of early career scientist network members in the IIOE-2 working groups. This process has started already. The application was out. We received some applications. It's still under discussion. Unfortunately, we did not receive applications for all working groups. So if you are part of the theme of these working groups, please, if you would like to contribute, please tell us, let us know. We would also like to build on Decade IO and create more space for capacity building. And of course, have more outreach activities, for example, doing media professionals such as climate podcasters. I mean, everyone is always on their phone now, so it's easy to just we need to use this as a source of communication even more now. So connect with us, like I said, on this is on the right here. You can see how the form looks like on the website, or you can send us an email, or join our social media. I would like to thank you, and I'm happy to take maybe one or two short questions. Or no, or later. Or we can, I think we can also just take one. Yes.
Can you hear me okay? Is this working?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have I'm quite impressed at the community that you guys have built. And what I'm wondering is what happens after you age out of the ECSN? Do you just wander off into the wilderness all by yourself? Which is what I hope does not happen. Figuring out a way to maintain the community that you guys have created for the rest of your lives, scientific careers, is very important.
I totally agree. So no, we don't not just go in the wilderness. I think what's important is so for the ECSN part, of course, you would always like to have a group of ECSN members and also like a group of alumni members. So we have plans to create this to if you're part of the ECSN member and you've reached now the limit, so you want to you're now part of alumni, so there will still be a group. Of course, like I said, I don't know if I mentioned this, but the ECSN members, I mean, to receive emails and everything, you do not necessarily need to be an ECSN. You can be more than an ECSN and also receive emails. Of course, you will not be eligible for funding for early career scientists or presentation awards. And I would also like to, yeah, I mean, this is the perfect place to actually engage with people and keep connections and to know what people are working on. And this is how you build connections, and also this is how you would try to keep it going over the next 10, 20 years. So I would, of course, encourage early career scientists to join the network, but at the same time, if they are already above the limit, you already have a network, I'm sure, keep it going, keep chatting, keep collaborating on proposals, on papers, and yeah, just you have to keep it going. Yeah. Good. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah.
Our first invited talk is on significance of collaboration and networking in fostering research, a young scientist perspective. It's my privilege to introduce Dr. Hemanti Bishwas, Senior Principal Scientist at the National Institute of Oceanography, Goa, in the Department of Biological Oceanography. Dr. Bishwas is an accomplished oceanographer with expertise in marine biogeochemistry, climate change, phytoplankton, and the marine carbon cycle. Her career includes international research experiences in Paris and Kiel, a DAD postdoctoral fellowship at the Helmholtz Center for Ocean Research in Germany, and she is a recipient of the prestigious Frederick Wilhelm Bessel Research Award presented by Alexander von Humboldt Foundation in 2023. We are delighted to have her with us today. Ma'am, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. And I'm so delighted to see the hall is full. And I feel that more chairs would be required. And I would like to. Okay. Yeah. No, I think I stand and speak. I think I'm loud enough. Is that okay? So I take the credit that I attracted audience. However, thank you very much, and thank you for coming to this event. I think it's very, very important for young scientists to understand how to go on. So I'm very much thankful to the organizers, Sudhir and Femi particularly, for asking me, and it's my privilege to share my experience. And for this talk, let us go a bit philosophical, not like a bit strategic. And later we'll come to the strategy, and I'll also tell my story, and then probably you can relate to yours, right? So as you can see, I will talk about is there any mic that I can hold and speak? Or Okay, till he brings. And as you can see that the significance of collaboration and networking, and this is very important, that when you do science, when you have ideas, how to go on. And as we all have, most of us come from rural places, not so well to do universities, we often are shy to experience our ideas, come forward and say, and straightforward go for collaboration, because we underestimate our power. And this is something I would like to highlight and then come to the technical part of my talk. So now, oh, sorry. Okay. Okay. So a PhD, many of us are having and many of you are going to have. Do you know the meaning of PhD? How many of you? It's the doctor of philosophy or doctor in philosophy. Very good. So what does it mean? It's the word comes from philosophia. It means love for wisdom. So knowledge that brings all of us here for all these 5 days. We talk, we exchange, we criticize, and we love and we get passionate about this. So the line below is very powerful, and I would like you to focus on that. So it is called a doctor of philosophy due to the outstanding wisdom and sense of achiever to solve real world problems with his or her best knowledge. And by doing it, she or he saves the problem of the society as they, provide knowledge in the related field. You can imagine how much power you have when you have a doctoral degree. So you can solve real world problems. So we are also kind of warrior. And we're always talking when there was a war going on in our country in the border, that not necessarily all have to go and fight there. You fight your own field, build your capacity, build your knowledge, and that you apply. So this is the basic of anything. And now coming to the young scientists, I'm not young anymore. I feel sad about it, but I got many more things by leaving that boundary and coming and entering the level of seniority. And why do you think we put so much of effort? For example, the Riley and many other, I think, associated, they particularly focus on this. Why do you think youngsters are so important for us? So we prepare individuals for success, because why we should do so? Because we want to foster innovation, science for the country, for the world. And science is not only in the country, science is to save the world, our planet. I say planet ocean, not planet Earth, being an oceanographer, because that covers 70%. So calling planet Earth is injustice to our ocean. And most importantly, ensuring the continuity of organization. What does it mean? Yeah. Excuse me for a moment. You can hear me? Fantastic. I feel better. Okay, thank you so much. And so when you think about it, the continuity of the organization, so exactly what Riley asked, the once you reach a level you achieve, then what you do with your knowledge? Many I have seen, like you become the master of the field and you do not want the next generation to get that, to continue the legacy. I think this is a very, very important point. I want all of you to understand, because you're responsible to carry that legacy, and I'll make you believe all of you have the power. And finally, the scientific and societal progress of the country. So all of you have that name tag, what is written below, who are present here. So you may imagine that the name of the country, that should give you the power, that you should work for that, not for your paper or your supervisor or for anyone that you are working. Okay, so I will play a bit game, okay? So preparing individual for success, what does it mean? How we take it? The first thing I believe, when I have come across all these years in my career, we need to know ourselves. The self knowledge is very, very important when you want to be successful and when you want to glow. Glow means what? It's an aura, and that aura comes from your knowledge. And all of you have seen this, right? Just happened a few days back. And then there was a beautiful brass lamp. And then we all, helped the dignitaries to light it. Any of you know why we light a lamp before any auspicious program? Any answer? Very good. So this is the light. And what does it mean? Light is a knowledge, right? And when you do not know something, that is darkness. So why we light lamp? Because we want to go from the darkness to the light, from the unknown to the known. And that's what gives us the power to proceed. So first thing for the youngsters, you know how much potential you have. All of you have, maybe little less, little more. If you know that, I assure you, you can do so much better. You can be the best. All of you can be the best. So you have to know yourself in the light of knowledge. And please believe, that's what I said. You all the young minds have equal potential. No one is less. Maybe little, but if you work for that, I'm sure you can come to that. Any of you know her? Men know well, See, I'm so desperate. I said both are same. If you don't agree, tell me, please. I won't be mad at you. See, even I have a better compliment. Abhishek Bachchan will kill me. For me, as an environmental scientist, we are nothing but carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, and so on. So whomever you take in this room, you analyze, you are basically the elements. So the only difference is the genetic, but still there are elements. And every element, from where do they come? Do you ever think? Every element is generated within stars. So what you are, you can imagine. We all came from universe, the children of the stars. So how much power you should be having? And there is only light in this universe, which is truth, which can never be destroyed. So because of that, you should know how much you know. It's very, very important in any field. Never feel I know a lot. There is so much remaining to know. And when you know how much you know, then only you realize that there is a lot to know. And that's the time you start learning. And then it never ends. And I can't avoid quoting him who said this, that I'm but a child collecting pebbles on a beach in the sands of truth. Why I say the word truth? You know him, right? Exactly. So this is the thing when we see that young people with lot of question, but they are so underconfident. They are not confident with their knowledge, but they have potential. Who comes and tells them, hey, come on, you can do this. And I know that there are not many people to encourage. We make mistake. All of us make mistakes. We all did. But if you do not make mistake, you will never be the best. So when you make mistake, you know there is a chance to correct. So because of that, when you know that you have this much of power, can you proceed alone? Can you walk alone? Let us take an easy example. And this is the quote I love, that science, you see, when we all are in science, but different fields. Science thrives on trust. Why? Collaboration is our greatest strength, particularly in a multidisciplinary subject like oceanography. We are in inquiries here. We have mathematicians, we have engineers, and I come, I'm a biologist from heart, also learn a bit of chemistry. So in a competitive academic world, building bridges instead of walls may be our most powerful tool to accelerate discovery and rebuild public trust in science. In our country, we had the Mars mission and also the moon, Chandrayaan-2. The whole world was kind of, amazed at how the performance of Indian scientists. And then I travel with my ID card where it is written scientist, and then people so much of respect, but not before that. After Chandrayaan-2, I see, they make big eyes, and it's true that, hey, you are a scientist, so you're doing something. So this is the confidence we need to build, And we must talk to each other. The cross talk is very much needed. And that is the basic of collaboration. So for this, the key points, why should we collaborate, right? Why? What is this? I think we have been eating for last 5 days. All now, right? Okay. If you are not too tired, I can cook maybe one more curry. And then comes the fish thali or veg thali. Which you do prefer? But yeah, but if you have to cook alone, it's so tiring, right? And when you have a group of chefs, the master chefs, then you cook the best thali and you still enjoy it, right? So that's the key for collaboration, why you should collaborate. It's not just, doing a very serious thing. And I'm not a very serious person. I like to make a bit, jokes. So now the next question is, whom do you go and talk and collaborate? Who is the person? Can you go on the street and tell anyone? Or sometimes the big shots used to come to speak or give lecture, used to be afraid because we feel my question could sound stupid. I'm sure 90% of the students at their young age are afraid of asking question because they think their question is not important enough to be asked in public. And contrary, I was always the bad person. I always ask question. Since I have always argument with people, but I feel when you argue, you learn more. You ask whatever you have in your mind because we are driven by curiosity. That is why we do research. So whom should you collaborate? Now a bit of technical point. So scientific collaboration can be developed between two or more individuals with similar or different expertise, but necessarily with mutual scientific interest that benefits both, right? Both or all the parties. So the collaboration means I am a biologist. I need a bit of knowledge also in physics, like we're working in the ocean, which is largely driven by physics and then chemistry. And one thing I must mention here, those biologists, they get Nobel Prize. Most of the time, they are either physicist or chemist. So what happens inside the cell is chemistry, and the processing force is physics, and the manifestation is in biology. So that is what is, if you look at a cell, that's what is the collaborative thing. Or if you talk about the symbiotic organisms, the beautiful corals, they don't work alone. So they necessarily need the zooxanthellae who fixes carbon for them, and then the coral polyp who gives them the shelter. So that's, I think, the best example. We have all examples, around us. And the collaborative approach is to complement each other's work and also to accelerate the progress of overall work. So if you cook alone, the entire thali is you are too tired to eat. So when you are tired, you are less productive. So for that point, we have to also think that both the collaborators come together and work hand in hand and both benefit. It's a mutual benefit. And it could be based on technical, and technical necessity, or it could be also based on any other. Like I could collaborate with a person where I do not understand the subject. Like today, I was discussing with Kranti. So he made a very good presentation, and the acoustic that can help me so much to solve my problem of zooplankton distribution within the OMZ, which I am struggling to do with taxonomy. So now we need a person with this knowledge to come and work with a biologist, a taxonomist to confirm each other's finding. That's the core and base of our collaboration. I'll give an example. The word climate refugees is very kind of famous these days, not only in India, but all the countries with long coastline, because we know the mangroves are destroyed and we have floods all around, particularly the city of Mumbai is devastated. And now you think this is a social problem, right? If you want to solve this, you need to have an alarming system. Today morning, we had a fantastic talk from Dr. Srinivas, like tsunami alarming system, right? So to develop that, you need pure technical person. And to go and work with those people, you need sociologists, right? So when you have all these things together, you need a scientist, you need a social scientist, you need remote sensing person, you need even a physicist who will tell us what are going to be the hazards. So in that way, when you have a jigsaw puzzle, you have science, we need a person of language, we need mathematics, we need geography, we need economists, we need sociology, and also space science. If you put all together, this is your fish thali or veg thali. That solves the problem of the society or the country. So if you understand this, why you should collaborate and talk to each other and don't be egoist. As I told, we're still collecting. So Einstein was collecting pebbles. We are just too far to reach the beach, I believe. So whatever knowledge we have, respect that, but believe that without help of all these multidisciplinary authorities, we can't progress much. It's very difficult to go faster, but we see our problems are coming faster. The seas are warming faster, cyclones are intensified. So we are going to face more and more problem. And if we really want to help the scientists, want to help the society, I believe we need to work hand in hand. Also the art, that's very much needed, art and philosophy for solving any problem. And now, how to collaborate more effectively? I'll tell you a few ways that what you should keep in mind. Those you are doing PhD, you need to go for a postdoc. Those are already a postdoc, you now need to search for a job or further. So what you do and what you don't do. So you have to be strategic. You can only tell your collaborator how much you can deliver. It's not like I can commit a lot, but then I deliver very less. You can commit less and deliver much. That is always welcome, but don't overcommit. This is from experience. And create a collaboration agreement. That means you clearly say, hey, you are going to do this and I'm going to do this. And then you agree and then you have faster progress. And then communicate your failure, not just success. This is very, very important. Often it happens that probably I have been assigned a work and the collaborator is doing something and I failed. Can we fail in science? Can we fail? Yes. We fail because this is so common that we fail. Papers get rejected every day. That doesn't make sad anymore. Earlier used to be. Nevertheless, so this failure is very important to acknowledge, but you need to understand why we failed. And then you rectify and redo, but you have to be honest that I wanted to do this work within this time, but I failed. I will do this. There should be a very clear communication. Embrace all types of output, not just papers. I know strangely, I have a very, strange relation with all my collaborators in France and Germany. I reach their kitchen. So like the friendship we built, it's not, I think Rajdeep talks, if anyone heard, he was saying it's not just collaboration, we also hang out. And exactly. So when you are very friendly with a person, when you share, you go to that level, I believe the work goes smoothly. You are not afraid of talking. You are not afraid of confessing your failure. Then things are so much better. And then the communication goes easily. And the last but not the least, learn what it takes to be a good team player. That's very important. When you write a reference letter for the student, one point is whether he or she is a good team player. Good in teamwork means you respect your colleagues and you know your drawback, you know his or her, but you have to compliment that when someone is not doing it. We go at the sea. We just did our monsoon cruise last August. It was so difficult, the toughest job I have done in my life. And then we had a small team, but there was no other way than understanding each other. When a person is really not capable of moving, then we have to take that and doing it without calculating who is doing how much. So build in trust and support each other, and I'm sure it can really lead to good collaboration. And the key questions that you might have, I have answered from my perspective. You can always cross question. How to enhance networking in my or your individual field? So what are the ways? You can always approach people when you listen a talk. You can always write when you read a very good paper, or in any occasion you meet someone whose work fascinates you. This is always possible. Never be afraid of getting rejected or no answer comes. Does collaboration and networking facilitate getting research funds? Yes, of course. This is a very, very important point I would like to emphasize. The research funds are very much needed. Just Femi said that the resources are so important to proceed. How you attract grants? There are funds, but when you go together, there are now government funding in India. They encourage that when you submit the project in collaboration with other institutes, they are encouraged. So you have more chance to get the grant. Why? Because it shows that you are not working in isolation, but you are delivering or offering your expertise to the other institute who can get benefit and also offer you what they have. So that is the best way live like a coral. And is it more productive working in collaboration compared to independent research? I would say, of course, yes. That's my personal perspective. If you work with confidently with a very good research group, I'm sure you do so much better. It's like learning from each other. Who is better, you learn from them. And never be jealous of success. Then success will avoid you. Be always, careful about this. When someone, it happens to, we're all human. That someone is going faster with less effort, we're always stuck. Why that person is making faster progress? And I believe that is because he or she must have worked sometimes, if not now. So we need to know how they make success. And definitely is more productive. Does collaboration enhance visibility in the scientific community? Yes. I did my postdoc with Ulf Rivesel, and unfortunately he's not well. But whenever people ask, oh, you have done your postdoc, and they see the paper, his name, they make big eyes. So when you work with a famous group, definitely that helps. And it doesn't mean that who is not famous, his or her work will not be highlighted. But if the work is genuine, definitely you will get. So collaboration definitely enhances the visibility in scientific community. And does collaboration help to achieve goals faster? I would say yes, it does. Depends on how you collaborate. How is your mutual agreement between these two? And finally, the key points for establishing strong collaboration, also from my perspective, as I already said, know your strength and skill, find out other researchers working in the same field or related field, then approach directly or indirectly using your connection. You can also ask if your friend knows a person or working, you can also ask to help. Can you refer? Can I approach this person? And then try multiple times. If I hear from many students, I don't get a reply. I say if you write 50 times, you may get one reply, but keep trying, you will get reply. And approach scientifically. It's not anything that you should understand that if your idea is good, I assure you 200% that will be appreciated. And highlight what you can provide in this collaboration and not just expecting to gain, because the collaboration means mutual interest. And make sure both the collaborators benefit equally. Maybe there is not 50-50, but slight difference. And we are here for the 5 days. It's a fantastic conference. I believe all of us, we enjoyed. So these conferences are the best place. So you should participate as much as you can when you are still in the young researcher field, because after that, so much of responsibility, it becomes very difficult to travel. So when you have the flexibility, please go, please talk to people and talk about your work. Try to listen what the other person is doing. And you also let them speak, and then you discuss. You have to be a very good listener if you want to be a good scientist. So you need to listen, then you speak your idea, and then you discuss. So that's all this point, I believe, lead to good collaboration. And my passwords, you have to be brave. You can't be shy when you have good scientific ideas. You should be honest and humble. You cannot be very proud and I don't want to talk to anyone. That should not be the attitude. You should be ambitious. Yes, I think all of you have potential, like we're children of stars. Please don't forget. So you can imagine how much power you have. Please be ambitious. Sky is the limit. You can achieve. If you want, you can achieve. And you have to be responsible for what you have committed. That's very important. And adjustable. Of course, you have to have fellow feeling, you share responsibilities, and finally, you have to be a thinker, right? And the intellect we can't avoid. And I have a very good word for this. Bharat is India, it's Bharti. So if you want to be the winner, that's the passwords for success. and building network. That's from my perspective. And then my story, I'll share how I collaborated. This is a Nature paper published, you can see, by Ulf Rubesel in 2000, and I was a final year of my PhD, 2003. And my supervisor, I know Ulf is not well, so I feel sorry for him. However, so Ulf is a very well-known name in the field of ocean acidification research, and my supervisor gave me this cut from that paper, and his email you can see, and he told me write to him. I told why he should reply to me. Who am I? But he told me, so I couldn't avoid. I just dropped an email, and surprisingly, there was a reply. And I applied for DRD postdoctoral fellowship. Why he appreciated? He asked me what you want to work on. So I sent my proposal, and he was so excited. And eventually, I found I got a DRD fellowship, and I believe that I'm talking today on this platform. What am I? He contributed major. He groomed me. I learned so much from him, like to be a very, very powerful researcher. What are the qualities you should be? So I really miss Ulf. And the next one is, so the GeoMark connection, I'm very happy to meet Femi. The GeoMark connection is still very strong. And even today, if I go, I still feel I belong to the group. So much warmth. And you have all seen Bigit. So Bigit, my collaboration from Hamburg to Hyderabad, and Bigit, it was very interesting. IIOE 2020, it was online. So I gave the talk on biological pump, and then Bigit messaged me in that chat box. It was a very nice talk. And I also heard the talk from her group, Nicole. And I just quickly wrote, Bigit, I have this idea. Do you think you're interested? And we read her papers and we were fascinated. I was not sure if she would reply. And she was so kind. Immediately she replied, yes, I think we can write a proposal. So this Humboldt Award that I got based on that research proposal, the project that I'm doing there. So this is my story. And if I look back what we started with, fostering innovation and ensuring the continuity of organization. So as I told, look at the badge that you are wearing and you will see name of your country, and you are responsible to continue the legacy of your respective institute as well as your country. And that's what I believe. This is kind of taking an oath that I should do. It's commitment to science, commitment to your institute, and commitment to your country. That is, I am responsible to, bring it to the limelight. What is it coming now? What is that? There are particles in the air. And what is this? They are water vapor. And you know how do they call? How do you call them? They're cloud condensation nuclei. Very small particle attracts vapor and they form a big cloud. And we're in monsoon dominated country. Yes. And so your responsibility is to be the rain, the success. And so please form cloud from particle and attract water vapor. That's your collaborator. And I assure you, you can do, help in progressing your institute and also your country. So with this, I conclude. You please know yourself, strengthen your knowledge. That's your strength. Collaborate. That brings to, brings success. You will definitely make progress and you will be the leader of your country. And that's the jigsaw puzzle we complete. And with this, I must quote, talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence win championship. So it's up to you what you choose. Thank you very much. Thanks for your attention. And I'll be happy to take any question if you have. Thank you.
I think we can have one or two.
Yeah, sure. Anyone. Yes. I'm so glad. Thank you so much. Yes, Riley, please.
That was a great talk.
Thank you.
But I have a question for you and a comment. You don't strike me as a very shy person. What advice do you have for people like me who are very shy?
It's very difficult to answer, but I was not appreciated when I was young. I was, always told she is talkative. But my dad said, I think that's a quality, and he always encouraged me to talk. But other guardian, they ask their children not to talk. So maybe we should just speak. You just speak. I always speak. So I think it's a kind of our personality. So, but I think you can definitely probably work on it. You can just break the wall and make the bridge. That's all. So I'm sure. But it's not only you. I know the students here also many are shy. So for them also I have this message. They are all realizing why I'm saying this.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank
We have
you.
some are attending online.
Okay.
So
Yes.
somebody raised their hand.
Yeah.
Please
Please.
go ahead. Trishita.
Yes, hello. Could you hear me?
Yes, please.
Hello, ma'am. Thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. More than half the things that you said are incredibly relatable, especially for someone who has just finished her PhD. But there is one question that I would like to ask, and probably this would be the answer to it might be beneficial to the PhD students who are doing PhD now. My question is, if we take India and the PhD scenario in India, it is a bit different from the rest of the world. And I think you might agree that in India, the early career researchers, there are a lot of them who are doing their PhD now who have a very different struggle. So for example, a lot of them have very supportive guides. And under such a circumstance, it becomes the onus of putting themselves out for collaboration falls on them. But a lot of people might also struggle in that department, the supervision department. So, which could be again varied. Maybe their supervisors are incredibly busy, which is why they are not able to be very hands-on, and it's not really their fault. But of course, with the bureaucracy, they are incredibly busy. Sometimes the problems are a bit more complicated. So, maybe sometimes in some cases, the supervisors are just difficult to work with. So in such, and maybe the PhD student who is working with this person has a lot of potential but is struggling to find a way to show themselves and progress with their work. So if you could give some examples or any ideas as to how to navigate such situations, maybe a lot of students might be benefited. And also I would love to hear your opinion on this.
Okay, thank you, Trishita. Thanks for the question. It's a very, very valid question. And I have seen by myself, and I also struggle to some extent because of such a situation in India. We have this SAR culture, a boss and a
Yeah.
student. We want to develop leaders, not slave. This is the message I think all supervisors should understand, including myself. But eventually, I don't know, my students are very much afraid of me that I learned very late. However, but I believe that in that case, I have seen such, girl whose supervisor did nothing, but she is a faculty in IIT now. So in that case, I would say, please don't be shy or afraid. Go ahead and speak. Always remember, truth will always win. If you are honest, you have 100% chance to win. Sometimes, if not supervisor, you talk to any other authority who can get involved and probably, intervene and assist in that. Don't let your talent to get wasted. Particularly the girls in our country are extremely underrepresented. And I feel very unhappy to see I'm the only woman in some committees. It's pathetic. So don't let anyone to boss on you. Supervisor is to show you the way, the light. You can follow, but you are not the slave. You come with a potential, with a funding, and you are working for him or her. That is why he or she is publishing paper. I publish my papers, my award is just because my students work so hard. So I think we need to speak out and we need to be very brave. That's the first password I have. You have to be very brave and speak out and share the problem that you're facing.
Thank you so very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
I mean, ma'am, like we need to move on.
Okay.
I know like there are many questions from online and the offline. Offline people can get to directly. You can they can interact. And the online participant, I request them to put in the chat box.
Yeah.
And if time permits, we will have
Later.
yeah.
Yeah, sure, sure.
So,
We will
yeah.
talk later. Thank you so much. Oh, oh. Sorry.
Thank you, ma'am, for your story, sharing your story and inspired perspective. Our next invited talk focuses on transitioning from earlier career to senior researcher. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Nimit Kumar, senior scientist at IICAR Central Institute of Fisheries Education, Mumbai. Dr. Nimit has made significant contributions to ocean observations, telemetry, and remote sensing. His career spans roles at INCOIS, UNESCO's IOCI and DIO subcommission, and international collaborations including NF-POGO and POSEC. Many of us know him for his long and impactful years at INCOIS, where he contributed significantly to fisheries advisory services, primary productivity modeling, mariculture, suitability studies, etc. He has led pioneering initiatives such as satellite telemetry of yellowfin tuna and mariculture site suitability studies, advancing both science and sustainable development. We look forward to his insights. Dr. Nimit, please.
There won't be any presentation, so you can just take a you can just take a a deep breath, and that's fine. Honestly, how much time I do have? Is it in negative? Because I think we need to also wind up in the well in time for the valedictory, right? You want me to really see it, right? All right, no problem. So I can just. Is it audible still for everyone? All right. So I did not bring any presentation, considering this is going to be like a post lunch session, which with slides and all it might get more sleepy. But I learned something now from Dr. Hamanti that post lunch session can also be something that does not make you sleepy with slides. So yeah, next time I'll try that if I'm brave enough in her, if, like in her words. So this is more like kind of a candid interaction and a very special moment, because the photograph that you have seen, like, I mean, it's a very kind of like now legendary photograph where ECSN started, and then like we always try to recall the moment because it was very organic, to be honest. I mean, this was something like nobody planned for it, no workshop like this. It was organized, no agenda, just bunch of the young scientists or researchers sitting together and then thinking about like just the idea that why don't we create it. And that is the like most unique thing about ECSN, because the other early career networks, and there are very wonderful of them all over the world, across the themes, geographies, but then usually it is like something like kind of a top down approach. So in oceanography, what we say, so it is like something like some seniors decided that we need to have like young representation, and then it got created such structures. So that is very unique thing about IIOE-2 program itself, and we also have to thank the seniors for that, because something like this kind of thing that comes up as a bottom up, and then they embraced wholeheartedly, and then that's the reason that we are here. So this is a very unique thing about early career network, and I'll just speak more about kind of uh, how each of you listening to this, whether in this room or online, you are very special. So because the kind of confidence that the you need to put in yourself, it's very important. I'll just give you some context, starting with what was the last thing that was spoken by Dr. Hamanti, that like gender representation. And as an ocean scientist, actually we should be proud of ourselves, because the all the science streams together, if you put together, the gender representation comes to 28% of the women. So I mean, any branch of science that you name of, you put all of them together, and then just check the gender parity, it is 28%. Ocean science, on the other hand, we are actually doing much better than that. We are not yet reaching to the 50-50, but very close to that. So not actually 28%, but at least 38%. And that was like a kind of number that a few years before, considering the gender distribution in this room as well as online, I think this number might have already improved so far. So, and then we hope to like, be the leader in that aspect. So first of all, that was the kind of your first cue to think about, like, how uh, uh, kind of unique or different we are than other scientists. So being scientist itself is or researcher itself, it's a no like less commendable job. But then in the ocean science, again, it's a field job, right? So it's not like you can just do the like literature survey and then you can do that. So like geologists and oceanographers, they really go out to the kind of very in like hospitable environments, and then try to understand the planet. And like Dr. Hamandi rightly mentioned, and this is the only planet from space you can see, like, it has water and not less, but the entire color of the planet, the blue planet, that is named after it. But on the contrary, the intuition would be like the like representation of the ocean scientists, because the earth is covered, like significantly 70% is the number, yeah, if you want to go to the details. But then, so in context to that, we would think that the fundings or the number of scientists in every country would be like 70% should be the ocean scientists, and the reality is totally different than that. So even like for the best of the numbers, and that's what, if I remember correctly from the last global ocean science report of the IOC UNESCO, those numbers are the very very nice one looking from the Scandinavian countries. But still, I mean, the like per million inhabitants or the citizens, how many ocean scientists do you have in your country? Those numbers are hardly in double digit. So per million citizens, the numbers which are the like just in double digit, those are the very good numbers. And think about, like, countries and very heavily populated countries like India. And again, we are talking about not only India. This is not the India centric workshop. We're talking about the Indian Ocean. The Indian Ocean has across the rim countries, one third of the planet's population. So that is 3 billion people, right? So out of 3 billion, I mean, each of these, I mean, I'm seeing many familiar friends and colleagues and students or juniors, I should say, mentees. Like, Dennis is there, Frank is there, Eddie is there. So, I mean, there are many geographies being represented here right now. And we all would just reflect to this fact, and then we would just understand that, yeah, how unique already that we are. And considering that the kind of like funding that we receive in each of our respective countries, I don't think that the numbers are going to change drastically, at least not in your lifetime of the career. So think about that this kind of legacy of being unique that you are going to carry forward, at least for the next few decades, not the condition that we want, but then that is what it is going to be. So make most out of that, because the like all the nations are now looking forward more towards the ocean economy and something related to the ocean. Even landlocked nations are more interested in collaborations because of the like trade or the resources, any other reasons. And ultimately, everyone wants to have, like, more and more ocean experts in their own country. So our generation, probably, like, rather I should say my generation, it's something like we might be like little late to the party, but your generation is going to be like kind of as the base of that exponential from here onwards, that it is going to be, because the ocean sciences itself has been always been kind of lagged behind because of the technology and kind of expenses associated with that. So most part of the 20th century, the observations and everything, it was ship based. No need to say that it's not relevant anymore, but then there are a lot of aspects that we started to make the automation towards the late of the 20th century and then getting into the 21st century. At the same time, the kind of data that these platforms then generate, it gives you the opportunity with the advances in computation and internet, the kind of speeds that we have now to handle such data, visualize. So earlier, somebody would have been just spending a lot of time in their just to create a couple of charts for their PhD thesis. In compared to that, now those things are just kind of more like trial and error for any research student. Just to say that if I look at this parameter for correlation, or if I look at that parameter for correlation, so it cuts down a lot of time and it spares a lot of time for thinking. And that is the reason that I always I review a lot of papers. That time I always try to suggest that whatever results are there, results and discussion section, usually people try to club together because they just want to report more on the results and try to spend less time on the discussion. Once your results like paragraphs are ready, you want to immediately want to communicate the paper as soon as possible. But the as we mature, in terms of science, and now the getting the data, it's not the entire job or the achievement, but then what we make out of that data, that is more important. So it is more important that the discussion sections should be separated out. It should be more elaborated. Those should be actually it's on the basis of which the paper should be evaluated. That is something that what AI cannot do for you. So I don't say, I mean, in compared to many other seniors who would immediately tell that don't make use of the AI, not like that, but make sure that you know what you are making use of the AI for. Okay, so try to cut down your time for things which are possible to just cut down. There is no pride in spending more time where you can cut short the time in generating some plot or try to get better correlation, because if you need to do the thousands of permutations within your data yourself, it's going to take a lot of time. But then if you make use of the AI or the other things, but then don't let it just use like a black box. So make use of it intelligently, understand what it does, and then make use of it. So again, why you will be unique. So one thing I talked about, it's like a demography. So that's why you are going to be some of the very few ones when you next 10 years or 20 years, you are going to be seniors, and maybe you rally here sitting, you will be also be in some of these early career workshops and trying to guide the next generation. Yeah, I'll just keep it short. So that is one part of the demography, and second part is that something that now subtly Dr. Hamanti just mentioned, that things are happening very fast now, and there is a word for that. It is called triple planetary crisis. So basically, the kind of learning curve that all of us needed to have till the change of the millennium, it was fine with that pace. We could just manage, not a problem. No AI is required or like that. But now those benchmarks are very quickly changing. So triple planetary crisis is something like it's a bucket term, and it combines three things together. One is about the change in climate. Second is the pollution. Third is the loss of biodiversity. These all three of these, independently or in combination of each other, are changing things so fast before we actually try to benchmark something. And it's often said, and I'm just repeating that we know much less about what is below 200 meters of our ocean than we know what is on the other side of the moon surface. So think about the kind of pity that that we are living on a planet which is 70% water, ocean, and then just out of that, just 200 meters, because in compared to 5 kilometers depth, 200 meters is nothing, right? And below that, it's like just we don't know. And on the top of that, these things are changing. So we even don't know that how much we are losing. Okay, so you all are put to the race against the time, and it's not your fault. It's probably generation like mine and before that. that whatever actions that they have taken past 300 years, it's our collective fault. But then it does not mean that everything is lost. So the planet is going to survive fine. I mean, I'm sure that if some magic trick is there like Thanos, and then humans are vanished out of the planet will be rather happy and thankful. But then it's not going to happen. So it's kind of wishful thinking. But then you will be the one who will be kind of trying to be the first experts of the adaptabilities. And in that context, you think about yourself. And everything else, Dr. Hamandi already told about that, being brave and all. But just keep those two things in mind. One is that when you are going to be the mid-career or senior researchers, you will be dealing with each other from your generation ultimately. So make sure that it's not like you get intimidated with any super senior or legends right now, because they will have their own careers, and then after that you will be in charge. So it's not like you can always get inspired. Inspired is fine, but then you cannot rely on the just seniors. So when you are early careers, try to start grooming yourself. Like how I can think like a mid manager person or like that. It will also help you in facing interviews and everything, because on the other side of the table, the person sitting there, you would understand that what is their expectations rather than you just talk about your expertise. Because the person will be thinking about this is the project and then I need to find this kind of skill in that. So you may have a bucket of skill, but then you need to also understand that which skill to highlight. So that is more important. Second thing is that ultimately, see, anything that you do as of now, it's more important collectively, collaboratively. Dr. Hamanti already said enough. I will just give it in the second perspective in a way that when I started my career or the earlier also, it used to be told that your papers are your currency. So how much reach you are, I mean, how many papers you have published. But things are changing very fast. Now everything is not about the papers, and she also mentioned that one point of time. There are a lot kind of outputs, right? And then networking is coming under that. So networking is your second more important currency. And especially like when you go abroad, like when you travel internationally, you need to have kind of international valid currency. And networking is more of that. So yeah, your work to be published, it is important. But then also that the network that you make, immediately it may not produce papers or not like that. But then to continue with that, even after 20 years, maybe your biggest break will come out of that. You never know. So, and then again, take a cue from the seniors. Any senior person, you just check their profile when they announce, in their introductions and all. They're always part of the many networks. So don't always go for that. Okay, I'm a polar scientist and I have already polar scientist network. They actually have very good early career networks. So I'm kind of promoting that also. But then that doesn't hold yourself back to being into part of any other network. So there is no like a kind of restriction on that. And don't think that like it is always a bad thing to be part of a lot of networks. It's actually a good thing, because then you probably kind of maybe at some point of time you might be also bridge between those two networks. And that actually happened. Our one of the founder, Arvind, he was part of the Solas, and then now Solas and ECSN is working together. So just trying to put a lot of things in less uh, m- uh, words as possible, considering the time. I will just stop here. I won't take questions because we know that we are running out of time. And thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nimit, for sharing your words. May I now request our chair, Dr. Femi Dil Mahamud, to kindly invite Dr. Hemanti Bishwas and Dr. Nimit Kumar for presenting a small token of love and appreciation. We now invite brief presentations from our partner networks, each highlighting their contributions and collaborative efforts. They will be joining us through the online mode. First, we welcome Dr. Trishnita Bhattacharya representing ECOP India. Trishnita, yeah, you can continue.
Thank you, Tirtha. Am I audible? Am I audible? Someone?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so entire screen. Okay. Yes, I will very briefly state what the ECOP India does and how we plan to build a stronger network in India. And in the beginning of it, thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you very much for all the presentations before me. That has been extremely inspirational for me too. And I hope I could also contribute something substantial in today's program. So ECOP India is a national node for the ECOP program, which is an endorsed project of the UN Ocean Decade. I understand that we have a very short time available and you're already running late. So even though I had prepared a little bit of a exaggerated, a long presentation, I mean, not very long, I will keep it shorter than I had intended. Okay, so ECOP, if you want to become an ECOP, you just need to self-identify as someone who is early in your career and has, and if you have less than 10 years of professional experience. Having said that, I also must inform you that this is a very loose definition. So if you are interested and enthusiastic about ocean sustainability, ocean awareness, you are more than welcome to be a part of ECOP. There isn't a very strict definition of if you can or cannot be an ECOP. Okay. So what are the main objectives? And this is exactly what I want to talk to you about. ECOP objectives are such that we want to do social initiatives which are taken up by researchers or ocean enthusiasts. Personally speaking, the social initiatives that we want to take up for a sustainable development, I understand it is much easier and much more beneficial if researchers are a part of those initiatives, if they take the lead in such initiatives. And when I say researchers, I don't mean STEM researchers. I also mean researchers who come from humanities section, who come from social sciences background, because there is a lot for us STEM researchers to learn from them. And also, I hope there is a lot that we could show them. So ECOP is actually a platform where ECRs can come together and work towards the sustainable development of the society. They could engage communities and they could take leadership roles in the initiatives towards those community engagement citizen science programs. As of now, the ECOP India node was really just established in 2024 in November. So it's very, very recently, it's just 1 year. And in the past 1 year, we've been able to do 3 important events. The first ECOP India workshop was organized at INCOIS. INCOIS has been extremely beneficial, and it has always been very supportive, giving us all the resources to host this program. It was on the occasion of the Ocean Science, the Ocean Day and the World Environment Day together. So in June, we did this, the first ECOP India conference. Followed by the ECOP India conference, there was this national as it for India, for all Indians, even abroad, the essay competition. And on the topic, as you can see, this was the topic. So we invited applications for essays from all across India on this topic, and then the prizes were announced. We also, right now, what we are trying to do is we have been taking up this survey. The survey that is, I have been trying to circulate the survey, and you can join the survey or take the survey by scanning this link. But also, if you are a part of our network, you have already received the mail, in the WhatsApp group, you have already received the link to join the survey. What we want to do in the survey is basically we want to understand what are the needs, the barriers, and the challenges that are faced by early career researchers in collaboration, and also in their contribution to to these social initiatives. So we understand that currently all the ECRs, they are incredibly busy with their own lives and also in their own professional career, but we want to know how our platform could benefit them. So we want to ask for inputs. We want to ask for your feedback, and this survey is exactly what will give us the opportunity to connect with you. So I request every single person in this, whoever is present. I heard that there is a very good turnout this time, and everyone who is a part of this workshop, this conference, I urge you to please take the survey, because your input really is very important. I was going to say all of this, but let's just skip through, and I'll come to the most important part. The current ECOP team is this. You could get more information about the current ECOP team if you just go to the ECOP India website. You just type ECOP India in the Google, and then you'll find all the details of. We have our own dedicated web page, so you will find all the details. If you want to join our network, these are the ways of joining. We have the ECOP newsletter you can join, the WhatsApp group you can join. We have a social media presence now. Earlier we didn't, but recently we have social media pages, which is Instagram, which is we have Twitter as in X, we have Instagram, and we have Facebook. We have the presence of our activities, and we regularly post in all these social media platforms. Okay, so before I end, a few quick things. We out of the core committee members, there are 2 core committee members already present in COIS, and 2 of them are, I believe, right now present in the audience. It's Mohammad Munzil PC and Midila Varna, who have been working during the entire conference and circulating the survey. I cannot emphasize enough the need for this survey, because we have been trying to understand what are the needs of the ECRs. I understand that there are many early career researchers or enthusiasts, ocean enthusiasts, who have been wanting to join the ECOP network, and they want to know what are the activities that we are planning. At the same time, we want to know what more we can do to help you. So we have a few activities in store. The few activities for the next year are: we are trying to build a more effective science communication. We want to build a platform where ECRs can come and voice their concerns, voice their research in a way that is a lot more easy to palatable for the common people. Okay, I guess Sudhish raised his hand. Go ahead, Sudhish.
Thank you, Krishnita. We have running shorter time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. Okay.
We have to move on. And as Krishnita mentioned, Mithil and Mithila, both are from ECOP committee. They were here present. And those who are interested to discuss more, please
yes,
go to them and discuss. I think like we need to move on. So
yes, thank you.
Thank you, dear Trishneeta. Next, we invite Dr. Yan Lun Gu representing POSIC. Yan?
Hi everyone. Can everyone hear my voice and my screen? See my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Yan Lun, and thanks for holding this wonderful workshop and invite me to share my experience. And also, I am a young career, and I'm graduate just 2 years ago. I'm graduate from National Taiwan Ocean University, which is a major in fishery. So I'm now is the postdoc in NTOU, and also I'm also the scientific organizer committee members in PORSEC. Also, I'm one of the general coordinators for this year's POSEC conference. So according to today's sharing, I'm trying to sharing my experience for being an early career, and then also help to help to organize the conference. So let me have a briefly introduce for PORSEC. PORSEC is the Pan-Ocean Remote Sensing Conference, which is aimed to promote the open exchange of the knowledge regarding to the ocean and atmosphere science. And you also, the most important, we use the remote sensing technology applied in the ocean research. So PORSEC Association is committed to provide better opportunities for scientists, especially for the developed countries and the young scientists. So during our PORSEC associations, we will try to hold international conference and the training course and also the MOOCs course for every 2 years. So I think the earliest PORSEC conference can originating from 1992, which is the first PORSEC conference in Hokkaido. But the data is too old, so I cannot show at the slide. So I think for past conference, PORSEC is already be held in a lot of countries, including Chile and Korea, China, and also in India in 2012. So this is not the first time that the PORSEC hold in Taiwan. We also hold at 2010 in Keelung. So after after almost 15 years, PORSEC come back again to Taiwan. So for this year's conference, we also set up a lot of sessions, which is related to the oceanography, how to affect the fishery or the atmosphere, also how to using the remote sensing technology to reach out the applications and achieve the SDG goals. So here is our SOC members, but this will be a little bit changed now. Our president will be Dr. Mia Lee now, and Dr. Nimitz will be the acting president now. So for the PORSEC, I mentioned before, we set up the tutorial for the young career for our young scientists. So the tutorial will be set up as an online tutorial and the actual tutorial for the local students or our international students. So for online one, it will be held by UTM, which is the university from Malaysia. So it will be held around 1 week online for the MOOCs. And after joining the MOOCs conference, the students can learn the briefly concept about the remote sensing. And then next, they will come to our actual tutorials like this year. Around 20 students, they will come to Taiwan and then join the actual tutorials and learn about hands-on course how to dealing with the remote sensing data, including the sea surface temperature or some close field data, and then try to dealing and applying with this data. And for our conference, we have over than 15 countries people join these times, and then around 2,200 people, and hold about 5 days. And we have 10 sessions and almost over than 150 100 oral presentations and 50 poster papers. And we are also now run into a special issues in IJRS. So I think as in young careers, PORSEC can can help us to learn how to dealing with a lot of the ocean data through the capacity buildings course, and also through organizing our conference, we can try to enhance our communicate and academics influence. And also, I think the most important is that we can expand the visions and like networking cross-sectoral for cooperations. So thanks for your attention. And the last notice is about the PERSEC 2027 will be held in Hiroshima, which is in Japan. So thanks for your listening and hope to see you in Japan. Thank you.
Can please invite Frank Virobo, IIOE, the Western Indian in Early Career Network. I'm sure.
Hello.
Frank, you can do your presentation.
Okay, cool. Are you able to see my presentation?
Fine. Yeah, we can see your presentation. This big cube. And try to stick on that. Thank you.
I think I cannot just be able to control it on my own here. Just don't click. Hello? Yes. So I don't know how to proceed to be able to see the slides.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, let me just try this entire screen. See how this comes. Sorry for that.
I can share your screen. I can share your presentation.
Okay, good. That will be helpful. So let me just see. Okay, good. Yeah, so apologies for that technical challenges. So thank you so much for having me. My name is Frank Mirobo. I work at the Western Indian Ocean Area Career Scientists Network under the Western Indian Ocean Marine Association. So thank you so much for having us here, and we are really happy to share our insights to the regarding what is all about our network. So coming back to the history, the Western Indian Ocean Marine Association is one of the most kind of an association whereby it tends to promote marine sciences, but also it has been there for more than 30 years right now. So within the whole umbrella of the Western Indian Ocean Marine Association, we tend to have 3 different network. One of that network, it is the Western Indian Ocean, which was launched back in 2017 during the 10th WIOMSA Symposium. So basically, this entity that's dealing with youth within the region, it just tends to, if you can just go back to that slide, sorry. It just tends to bring together early career marine researchers to really strengthen their capacity, but also to the larger audience to promote marine sciences within the Western Indian Ocean region. Next. So we usually operate within the 10 WIO regions. So all these are the member states where we have more than 3,000 followers and young early career researchers who are part of our network. So going to that main role in terms of what are some of the activities that we tend to do within the regional framework. Next, we just tend to provide human capacity development in terms of the different kind of training. So we have been having a number of training that tends to promote, but also to capacitate the early career ocean professionals within the Western Indian Ocean region. And since we have started in back in 2017, we have been having a number of crews whereby we were able to be involved in terms of the capacity building within this regional cruise that took place in 2019, but also in 2018. Next. But also we have been really trying to really engage our early career ocean professionals to next to capacity development beyond the coastal areas. So making sure that what we don't really understand from our international waters, we also tend to really expose the early careers to that aspect. So we have been quite engaged, but also we have been really trying to really to capacitate them when it comes to the deep sea research as well. So going forward as the network, we are also using our platform to really showcase the work that tends to be performed by our early career researchers within the regional framework. So within the WIOMSA news brief, we always communicate various of ongoing early career researchers initiatives that are currently happening. Next. So we have been really using that platform to really just to be able to connect these early careers from different WIO countries, but also to really share their current research findings, but also in terms of the different opportunities. For example, if there is an opportunity for a master's or a PhD program or any postdoc fellowship so that this early career they can be able to improve their capacity as they grow under the ocean science sector. Next. So these are some of the work of these early careers that have been
Frank, can you hear us?
communicated via the
Frank, can you hear us?
region. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry, we need to cut you short because we have to end the workshop in 10 minutes and we still have to do the handing over. I'm really
Okay.
sorry for that. I think maybe we could go ahead and maybe share the presentation with all the people who registered so that they also have a sense of all the different networks so they can always come back to you for question. I really apologize that we have to cut you off
Okay, cool.
at 5 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I'll just take over quickly. Sorry, guys. I know we're running very late. We're already 22 minutes and we have to be in the main hall in 8 minutes. But I just want to quickly. Oh, yeah, here. Do the. So, like I mentioned before, we have a new committee coming in. I will show you some faces. I think most of them are there online. Some of them are here, maybe in person, right? So we also planned to give them for them to say a few words, but I think we will have to skip that. But in any case, you will hear from them in the very near future. So yeah, maybe but there's only one who's here. So yeah. But okay, you can also if when I say your name, can you please switch on your camera? I think that would be very helpful. So first of all, we have a bit of time. Somya Silori, who's a postdoctoral researcher in Belgium, and her focus is marine biogeochemistry. I'm not sure if she's here online. She's there. Okay.
Yes, I'm online.
Okay, she's online. If you want to say
Yeah.
hi, please go ahead, or you can also just turn on your camera. I think that would be, if that's possible, of course. But we just have to go through the names quite quickly.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I think I will skip the introduction because you don't have
Yeah.
time. So yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Great. Somya is here. We have Himanshu Saxena, who's from the previous co-committee, who's continuing. So we have 4 members who are continuing in the new co-committee so that we have a proper transition. So Himanshu Saxena is a postdoc in University of Bologna, and his expertise is on microbial GHG sequestration. He's also around, but I think you know him already. We could move on. We have Arvin Shukla, who's a postdoc researcher at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, and his expertise is in paleoceanography. He's here. We've seen him. Nice to have you on board, Arvin. We have Sambaji Mota, who's in Kaus in Saudi Arabia, and his expertise is on sponge and coral reef biology. We have Dennis Otieno, who's a fellow at the Technical University of Mombasa in Kenya, who's working on fisheries oceanography. This is here. We have Danija Mauren, who's a postdoc in University of Cape Town, physical oceanography. She's continuing with a new core committee, so you probably know her already. She's around, I think. We have Pai Nazir Ahmed, who's a postdoc at Physical Research Laboratory here in India, and he's working on microbial oceanography. And we have Vinit Kumar Singh, who's a project scientist at Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, India, whose focus is on cyclones and monsoons. Aditi Modi, who's a current co-chair of the committee, so she's also continuing. She's a scientist at Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology. Unfortunately, she couldn't join us today. We have Padmashri Anandan, who's here in person, who's a project associate at the National Institute of Advanced Studies, and whose focus is on ocean governance. So I think it really would be very interesting and very helpful for our committee and for the network. We have Punya, who's a PhD scholar at Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology. Her work is on ocean remote sensing, who's also here. We have Sudesh V, technical officer at Central University of Kerala, chemical oceanography. So you know Sudesh already, so we skip quickly. We have Rishikesh Tambe, who is a project scientist here at INCOS, who has a special role in our new committee. So we decided that he's very experienced in media coordinator, website design, and we need someone like this on our co-committee. So he's also part of our new committee now. Great. So before closing, I just want to, well, I'm not finished with that. I just want to, these are our representation, but there are one problem with this is our representation in terms of countries. What we are really missing is representation from small island developing states, SIDS, Australia, Southeast Asia, and any other countries where people are interested or doing research on the Indian Ocean. So we are really trying to find people from these geographical regions to represent also and to be part of the core committee. So if you know anyone, or if anyone is working in these regions, we will try to maybe go to the experienced scientists, send them an email. Maybe they can suggest an early career scientist to be part of this. We will really like to really cover this whole region here and also other parts of the world where people are working and doing research about Indian Ocean. Okay, good. I will not be long. 1 minute left. I'm really sorry. I really apologize that this went overboard for 29 minutes now. But I would like to thank you very much for being here, for participating in this workshop. And I hope it has been a great experience. We've had really amazing talks, I think, from Dr. Hamanti and Dr. Nimit here, and from all the different networks. I want to apologize again for cutting off short, Frank. Yeah, and please get in touch with us and connect with us. And we hope you really enjoyed the conference and the workshop. And let's try to all move towards the main room now. And yeah, thank you so much. And also thank to everyone who joined online.
And on behalf of everyone, thanks to you also.
Thank you.
Arvind, we can hear me. So I still need to answer your question, right?
Yes.
So you
yes,
ask,
yes,
other
I
than
can.
publication, what is the recognition or satisfaction as a researcher? I would say that's capacity building, training the next generation. And exactly, I see Soumya is in the committee, so that makes sense. Soumya is my PhD student, so I'm happy that I could contribute something to train the next generation. I hope I answered your question. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for everyone, for especially the one who are online. So, and we'll see the new co-committee very soon, and we'll get in touch. Cheers, guys.